Hey there, Bill O'Leary coming to you live this Thursday. Part of our Thirsty Thursday series. Bill O'Leary from Legacy Planning Law Group, your favorite estate planning and elder law attorney. Um, for those that may not know, our Thirsty Thursday series is it's a series where every Thursday at about this time I'm going to go live and talk about a topic that might be interesting, at least something that I think you might be interested in hearing about, topic that relates to what we do. Um, Something that may be related to wills and trusts, what we call estate planning, something that might be related for estate planning for our seniors, what we call elder law, maybe something that deals with sort of how to administer someone's estate after they pass away, what we call post-death administration. So if you're thirsting for knowledge, you've come to the right place for sure. So let's jump right into today's topic. And the topic today is, can my child's ex-spouse get part of my child's inheritance when I pass on? Look, this is a very common concern that parents express to me during the planning process, especially parents with adult children. And they say, look, my adult child is responsible with money, and they're good savers and so forth. So that part of it, that side of it, I'm not worried about. What I'm really worried about are things beyond their control. Things beyond their control. And so, one of those things is in the event that my child gets divorced. And look, as much as we hope and pray that doesn't happen, the numbers sort of paint a different picture. And I like to ask the question of a new client: what do you think the two biggest threats are or risks are to an adult child's inheritance? Really, any adult child's inheritance. Number one, the risk that they get divorced, and half of the inheritance ends up sort of that sort of, it leaves the family bloodline and goes to somebody that you never intended nor would ever want to get your money, the family money. Number one. And the risk number two is in the event that your adult child gets into, let's say, a car accident, and it's a bad one, and maybe they badly injure somebody, kill somebody, and here comes the lawsuit, and there's not enough insurance to cover it. And now they're coming after your child's assets, where entire inheritance is potentially at risk. So really, it's the divorce and the lawsuit. Let's focus on the first one, the divorce. So when your child receives an inheritance, okay, at that moment in time, sort of on day one, that money is not going to be subject to, half of it going to an ex in some sort of divorce, because on day one, it's inherited money. It's an inheritance, okay? And so the divorce law says that that inherited money is treated property of your child and is not going to be subject to what's called an equitable distribution, where it's split up. The problem is that in real life, what do we find? Well, your child receives the inherited money, and they end up. Let me make an adjustment here. They end up sort of putting it into a common or a joint account that they have with their spouse. Okay, when that happens, then all bets are off, and that money now has been sort of pooled together or commingled together with other marital assets, and you can't unring the bell. You can't unwind that. And so at that point, all the inherited money is going to be subject to an equitable sort of division in a divorce. What the child could do to sort of protect that, or at least set it aside and not have it subject to a split, is to put it in a separate bank account in their own name, and give a sort of a name to that account that would make it very obvious to anybody out there that this is separate money that was inherited from the parents. Maybe something called, mom and dad's inheritance account, or the inheritance account. Problem is, that doesn't happen that often in real life. So that may be the technical legal answer. The sort of the answer that we see play out in real life is not that, and they end up sort of commingling it. So that usually is not the best solution. Often, what is a much better solution is to put in place some sort of trust for them. Put in place some sort of trust. But if your child is a responsible adult child, then we can set up a trust that will kick in at your death for the benefit of your child and put them in control of their own trust. You see, making them the trustee of their own trust. And picture that this trust is basically a lockbox that you're building for them. Okay, you're building for them a lockbox with your money. They can be put in charge of their own lockbox that is made trustee of their own trust. They will have free access to the money inside of the trust. But if they're a responsible adult child, they're not going to drain it all out on day one after you pass away, because they will appreciate what mom and dad has done for them, which is to build for them a lockbox with dad's money, where if you do it that way, it's protected from the divorce or the car accident lawsuit. Realizing if the child tried to do the same thing themselves, they received a direct inheritance, what's called an outright distribution, and they then tried to set up this sort of protected lockbox themselves. It doesn't work under the law here in Florida, but somebody else can do it, like mom and dad, with their money. And so they're going to leave most of the money in this lockbox, even though they have free access to it. They may take some out as needed, but leave most of it in there, almost like thankful that mom and dad basically built it like an insurance policy for them almost. And then as long as everything is going fine in their life, the door to the lockbox will be open and they'll have access to the money. But then what happens to that door if something allergy in the summertime in Florida? Most mornings are, aside from hot and humid, are usually sunny most days. What happens a lot of afternoons in Florida? A thunderstorm arises on the horizon. And so what might a thunderstorm be in your child's life? Maybe getting served with divorce papers. So what happens to that open door, that lockbox, when that happens? There's a mechanism that we can build into this lockbox, into this trust, where the door shuts, the door closes. And while that storm is sort of swirling around out there, while the divorce case is going on, the door to the lockbox is shut, the money inside that lockbox is off limits. And then guess what happens to that door when sort of the storm ends, sky is clear, divorce case is over. Guess what happens to that door? It swings back open. It swings back open. So that often is a much better way to protect the child's inheritance against the possibility of getting divorced, rather than just trusting the child to take that money, put it into a separately dedicated inheritance account, and not end up commingling it. So look, if you'd like to know more about this topic, gee, can my child's ex-spouse get part of my child's inheritance after I die? And if maybe you'd like to know how we can help, we'd be happy to talk to you. Go book a free 15-minute discovery phone call with our team. You can do it on the main Facebook page, select the Book Now button. What this discovery call would do is give us a chance to see whether we'd be a good fit, sort of working together, and also we can better understand what you want to accomplish, so we can tell you if we can help solve your problem. Again, that discovery call is complimentary, or you can just Google us, legacyplanninglawgroup.com. So, hey, if you've enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you liked it. Better yet, if you would share it with your friends. So again, I hope you've enjoyed this talk. And my child's ex-spouse get part of my child's inheritance when I pass away? As I said, I plan on giving another talk next Thursday about this time as part of our Thirsty Thursday series. Again, same day, same time, just a different topic. So if you're thirsting for knowledge, you come to the right place. So Bill O'Leary signing off for now on behalf of everybody here at Legacy Planning Law Group. Great group of people, what we call Team Legacy. I want you to go make it a great day and a better world.